MC Gene, our Arkansas and...
When Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly turned their focus to Ellen DeGeneres, they didn't hold back. The woman once celebrated as the Queen of Nice suddenly found herself under a glaring spotlight. The cracks in her polished public image began to show with pointed commentary and unapologetic critique. Gutfeld and Kelly highlighted what they viewed as a troubling contrast between Ellen's cheerful, on-screen persona and the toxic workplace allegations brought forth by former employees. What once felt like authentic kindness now appeared, in their eyes, to be strategic brand building. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal, it felt like a reckoning. And for longtime fans, the revelations hit harder than any punchline Ellen ever delivered on stage.
After article of people being like, Ellen is a nasty person. And all these staffers started to come out, not for nothing, but I know a guy, I know him very well, whose sister worked for her, who said, you were not allowed to make eye contact with Ellen.
Ellen DeGeneres once reigned over daytime television, known for her signature sneakers, upbeat dance moves, and a brand built entirely on kindness. She didn't just host a show, she crafted a feel-good empire filled with laughter, lavish giveaways, and star-studded moments. With pastel-colored sets and quick-witted charm, the Ellen DeGeneres show offered a bright escape from the ordinary, a place where joy felt like a promise. Viewers didn't just watch, they believed in her. To many, Ellen wasn't just a talk show host, she was the personification of niceness. But behind the polished smile and surprise gifts, a darker reality loomed. The signs were subtle at first, almost invisible, but slowly, the cracks began to widen, threatening to reveal the uncomfortable truth hidden beneath the shine.
DeGeneres, feeling the heat as more employees, past and present, from her show, say that they were working in a toxic environment. Some Hollywood actors also speaking out against the talk show host now. Let's bring in Carly Shimkus of Fox News Headlines 24/7. Carly, good morning. Great to see you. So what more are we hearing on this story?
Yeah, so things are really spiraling here, and it's sort of two situations unfolding at once. One of them has to do with a mountain of complaints against the show's executive producers. Some 47 past and current employees have complained to BuzzFeed News. Allegations ranging from a toxic work environment, bullying, now even...
Beneath the polished smiles and cheerful banter, a harsher reality simmered, less fairy tale, more factory floor. What was once praised as a sanctuary of joy had become a high-pressure machine wrapped in pastel tones. Laughter was meticulously scripted, applause cued with precision, and the spirit of kindness gave way to strict control. The workplace ran with the discipline of a military operation, but carried the warmth of a DMV waiting room. Staff didn't thrive on goodwill, they survived on obedience. The joy that viewers saw was manufactured, the spontaneity carefully rehearsed. Behind the curtain, the light-hearted magic was nothing more than a finely tuned illusion, built atop layers of dysfunction.
She laughed while she badgered her staff. And so all good things must end. And also the Ellen DeGeneres show. Yes, the 83-year-old entertainer just announced that the upcoming 19th season of her show will be its last. Apparently she created a workplace more toxic than an Amazon warehouse in Chernobyl. Countless allegations surfaced last summer that the show's work environment was rife with harassment and discrimination. Following those charges, Ellen's ratings dropped faster than Kevin Spacey's pants at a boy band pool party. Try to say that fast.
It was a performance. 1 part tap dance, 2 parts televised therapy session, designed to create the illusion of comfort while running on fumes of control. What the audience saw was laughter and lollipops. What they didn't see, an atmosphere more micromanaged than a toddler's diet, where spontaneity was forbidden and human connection came with a backstage manual.
If you saw her, this is not a nice person. So she eventually got canceled, but now
It was a carefully constructed illusion, part variety show, part daytime therapy session designed to radiate comfort while operating with strict control. On screen, it sparkled with laughter, surprise giveaways, and heartfelt moments. But behind the scenes, it ran like a tightly wound machine where spontaneity was stifled and every interaction was choreographed. The atmosphere wasn't warm, it was corporate. Authenticity took a backseat to image, and even the kindness felt rehearsed. The warmth that drew millions in wasn't organic, it was engineered. What looked like genuine connection was, in reality, A high-stakes performance fueled not by compassion, but by the relentless pressure to uphold a brand.
Got canceled for real a few years ago from just being a jerk.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like a single comment she said or something she did. Just lots of people saying that working for her was a living nightmare and that she's a jerk. And I think that's probably why she wants to leave, because she hasn't really been able to make a comeback.
Yeah.
I mean, remember how everybody loved Ellen? They're like, Ellen, we love you, Ellen's here, yay! And then that all went away. So she probably's been thinking of a reason to leave, and now she thinks that this is the reason to try to make it look like some sort of, look how afraid I am, I feel how you feel because I'm,
Yes.
of Trump.
Yeah, it was just the excuse. She is, Emily, I watched her comedy special. It was like a huge pity party. It was about how she was lamenting how her reputation has suffered. She's essentially as popular as a pit bull with monkeypox.
Every smile, segment, and tear-filled giveaway wasn't rooted in generosity, it was calculated strategy. Behind the pastel-colored set stood a finely tuned machine where staff were interchangeable and kindness was just another tool in the brand's arsenal. The Ellen DeGeneres show wasn't a haven of happiness, it was one of Hollywood's most convincing illusions. A polished spectacle where only the rich, famous, or camera-ready truly mattered, and when the illusion began to collapse, a glitter-coated Jenga tower, Megyn Kelly didn't show up with sympathy. She arrived with stilettos and unflinching candor. To her, Ellen's downfall wasn't just personal, it was symbolic, a glaring reminder of the hollow core hiding beneath celebrity culture's glossy, feel-good surface.
Trump, do you think that she's going to be, just everybody's going to love her in England?
Especially the jihadis who love lesbians so much. They're gonna love her there. I think she's playing for way more than her anger over Trump.
If Trump is truly responsible for Ellen's exodus, shouldn't that go down as his greatest achievement in the last 8 years? I mean, he should get the Nobel Prize.
He's literally going to have a who's who of left. I mean, the entire 80s music catalog is gone. You got Springsteen, Cher, Madonna. I just don't know why they keep showing.
Ellen DeGeneres didn't just promote kindness, she branded it, packaged it, and sold it like daytime gospel. Her signature smile, once seen as a symbol of sincerity, began to resemble something far more manufactured, flawless, controlled, and mass-produced. Be kind wasn't just a message, it was a marketing strategy. A carefully curated persona beamed into millions of homes. But behind the pastel sets and cheerful giveaways, the atmosphere was anything but warm. The show didn't operate like a close-knit family, it functioned like a high-pressure machine. The staff spoke in hushed tones about an unspoken rule: don't make eye contact with Ellen. What started as rumor slowly took the shape of policy. Compliance wasn't encouraged, was expected. The show's glossy success wasn't built on genuine goodwill, but on quiet obedience. Producers, assistants, and crew moved carefully, fully aware of the consequences of stepping out of line. To the public, it looked like joy, laughter, surprises, and celebrity hugs. But behind the scenes, it was a different story, one of burnout, anxiety, and strict control. When allegations of a toxic workplace finally came to light, Megyn Kelly and others didn't need leaked memos to start asking questions. The truth had already begun to seep out through resignations, whispered accounts, and the heavy silence of those who left. Still, much of the media looked the other way, clinging to the feel-good narrative, trading journalism for fluff. They chose puff pieces over probing questions, comfort over accountability. The Ellen DeGeneres show wasn't built on kindness, it was built on performance. And when the lights dimmed and the curtain was pulled back, what remained wasn't a beacon of joy, but a cautionary tale about the true cost of carefully curated perfection.
This is perfect for you, because I'm seeing this week that there is an attempted comeback by somebody who did not cross one of those fateful lines of misstepping on their sacred cows of gender or race or sexuality.
Yeah.
But she was said to be a nasty biatch, and that's Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah.
So her show got canceled after she had this testy exchange with Dakota Johnson, where something happened where Dakota said, oh, I had this birthday party, and Ellen said, well, why didn't you invite me? You didn't invite me. And she said, like, no, I did invite you, Ellen. That's not what happened. And Ellen had blown her off.
To Megyn Kelly, Ellen DeGeneres wasn't just another case of celebrity hypocrisy. She was the polished face of a commercial illusion, mass-produced for daytime comfort and shielded by an entertainment industry that thrives on avoiding accountability. What audiences embraced as uplifting television, Kelly saw as a carefully engineered fuckaday. Ellen's image built on generosity, warmth, and charm hid a backstage reality defined by control, fear, and silence. It wasn't kindness that kept the show running, but a culture of obedience. While most viewers focused on viral giveaways and heartwarming celebrity moments, Kelly fixated on the anxiety behind the curtain, the hushed stories of toxic leadership, the rehearsed spontaneity, and the near-military precision used to protect the brand at all costs. To Kelly, Ellen's smiling exterior wasn't just misleading, it was dangerous. It upheld a system where image routinely eclipsed integrity, where feel-good narratives were more important than the truth. So when the cracks in Ellen's empire began to widen, when former staffers came forward and the media finally took notice, Kelly didn't pull punches. She didn't soften her words for the sake of industry decorum. She pulled the curtain all the way back. What was once hailed as a triumph of kindness began to look like a script carefully written, performed, and monetized. Ellen's public apologies fell flat, ratings declined, sponsors stepped away, and the myth of the Queen of Nice started to collapse. Kelly's assessment was blunt but unmistakably clear. Hollywood didn't just allow the illusion to thrive, it depended on it. And when that illusion shattered, the very machine that had propped Ellen up wasted no time in distancing itself. In the end, Kelly didn't see Ellen's fall as a tragedy, she saw it as an overdue reckoning. And as the curtain fell, Kelly wasn't watching from the sidelines. She was narrating the collapse, one unsparing truth at a time.
In the hell of Trump? We're out of here. By the way, Walter,
I think we could let the illegal aliens stay if we get enough of Hollywood to self-deport.
yes, I will take 1,000.
You know,
I'll take 1,000 Venezuelan migrants for one share.
Exactly. If you can get one Hollywood star to leave, you get to stay. Otherwise, it's out.
You know what else funny? I just want to bring this up to you. You can comment or not.
Yeah.
So she left a celebrity base to
Right.
go to London, and she's already ensconced with other celebrities. So she's basically still in the same bubble.
She's not going back to London. She's going to Oxfordshire. And as the only person on this set who attended Oxford University,
No, way to drop
it's
that in.
true. I can tell you that there is nothing high British Oxford society loves more.
When a conservative public figure stumbles, the media doesn't just report it, they swarm. Headlines sharpen, segments intensify, and pundits line up to dissect every word, every misstep, with surgical precision. But when Ellen DeGeneres faced serious accusations of fostering a toxic workplace, the tone changed noticeably. Suddenly, the press that usually thrives on takedowns softened its stance. There were no blistering interrogations, no relentless media cycles. Instead, Ellen was carefully wrapped in a pastel-colored redemption arc, gently ushered through the storm with sympathy and spin. The narrative wasn't about a powerful media mogul overseeing years of alleged mistreatment. It became the story of a misunderstood woman, blindsided by circumstances she supposedly didn't see coming. Major outlets framed her apology as brave, her silence as thoughtful, and her return as a redemptive journey. What followed wasn't journalism, it was crisis PR masquerading as coverage. Emotional interviews, choreographed vulnerability, and a script of personal growth were rolled out with all the subtlety of a publicist's press kit. But Megyn Kelly wasn't buying it. She saw through the soft focus and soothing lighting. Where others offered excuses, Kelly offered analysis. She peeled back the layers of Ellen's rebrand, the carefully timed appearances, the polished confessionals, and revealed them for what they were. Calculated moves designed not for accountability, but for optics. To Kelly, this wasn't a reckoning, it was theater. And then came Greg Gutfeld, a Fox News firebrand, with a sarcastic streak and zero patience for media. Hypocrisy didn't just question the narrative, he scorched it. While Kelly dismantled Ellen's PR machine piece by piece, Gutfeld took a flamethrower to it. He mocked her apologies as Oscar-worthy, not because they moved him, but because they felt rehearsed, like performances better suited to a soundstage than a sincere reckoning. In Gutfeld's eyes, Elon's remorse wasn't about taking responsibility, it was damage control, a role she stepped into once her brand was in freefall. He didn't stop at Ellen either. He took aim at the broader illusion Hollywood sells, that fame equals virtue and charisma equals character. To both Kelly and Gutfeld, Ellen wasn't simply a flawed person learning from past mistakes. She was the product of an industry that prefers polishing reputations over confronting reality. Her story wasn't one of redemption, it was a case study in control. When the scandal broke, Ellen's team didn't brace for a reckoning. They launched a rebranding campaign, and the media, so quick to crucify others, often played along. But this time, not everyone fell in line. Megyn Kelly questioned the illusion, Greg Gutfeld torched it, and together they exposed a truth daytime television and the culture that protects it would rather leave off air.